I was hoping that I was going to be interviewing you as a U.S. representative, but you are not. How does it feel to make history as a first Latina from Arizona to be elected to Congress and not being able to take your seat?
Yeah, those are two different questions, right? Like I'm so
They
proud
are.
to be the first Latina and Chicana to represent Arizona. I mean, just to be elected is very humbling. It's this part of the rules are different for me that it's frustrating for so many because there were two Republicans that were sworn in on a pro forma session. There was a Democrat that was sworn in right before me, like on September 10th. And so this speaker chose to close Congress. He he chose to cancel vote. And this shutdown is a result of Congress not being there and willing to work and negotiate. There was a way to avoid this that Speaker Johnson just didn't want to. He wanted to force the hand of the Senate to say, here is the budget, here is the CR I'm providing you, and now we are done. And that CR didn't have input from one Democrat. So it got out of the House by a total party line. And then it got to the Senate, and the Senate's like, oh, I'm not going to do this. So we knew that there was going to be a shutdown when he's canceling all the votes and this just complete unwillingness to do anything. And so for me, I'm frustrated because the rules are different. And we know as Latinos, always the case, right? So we have to be better prepared. We have to be better at our jobs. We have to do more with less. And what Speaker Johnson is asking me to do right now is, well, she could do her job. I don't have a job until you swear me in. I don't have constituents until you swear me in. I have people that live in Arizona, but what am I supposed to do? Write to the Department of Education about a parent's concern over their child not having the special education services that they need and send it from my Gmail account? Like,
I'm going to ask you because you don't even have access to your computer, right?
They just gave me a computer. The problem is like, if anyone's ever worked in a big system, you get in and then they have to give you a passcode. They have to give you access. They have to, and I am here in what was my headquarters in one little room of a space because, I thought I was going to have an office that I could work and do actual work from. I can't enter into a lease because I don't have a budget. I cannot sign my name authorizing the use of federal dollars because I'm not a member of Congress. I don't have access to things. As soon as I get sworn in, it's more than just, es más de como una ceremonia. That's what he's acting like. It's just like a ceremony. No es cierto. There are so many
Es una ceremonia, pero es una ceremonia importantísima, ¿verdad? Que conlleva un trabajo y un reflejo de la gente.
Y una responsabilidad muy grande. And that's the problem that I have is that he makes it seem as because there's a list of people that I want to hire and bring on, that I should be able to do what? Where are they going to call? I don't have access to phone. The phone number, I don't know that we can even keep it, but the phone number that was my dad's is in a locked building because that ended on the date of our election on September 23rd.
Do you think your dad would be proud of you, the fight that you are putting on to make sure that you are representing the people of your district? You are suing to make sure that you are sworn in. So how long do you think this is going to take? And are you considering any other alternatives?
Well, I'm considering every alternative because no one wanted to sue to get sworn in. I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to break a record of waiting the longest to do my job. That's going to be my record. Like there are members of Congress in a special that had to wait a little bit because the House was in recess. We're not in recess. The government is shut down, but there was a whole class. 2019 was sworn in during a shutdown. So this is unprecedented. What Speaker Johnson is doing to me is unprecedented for any speaker to have done. And I think my dad would be really proud. He's always saying, no te dejes, mijita. And that's exactly what I'm not going to sit here and wring my hands. And I think Speaker Johnson thought, this woman from Arizona, I'm just going to tell her that this is the way it is and she's just going to take it. I'm not going to take it. We Arizonans deserve better. And I'm going to fight to make sure that I can fully represent them. That's my
Do you know
job.
how much of this delay and not giving you the job that you were elected to do is about you personally, or your vote, let's say, about the Epstein file that we keep talking about it, because you would be the last necessary signature to force a vote to release those files. And also, let me tack into that question the fact that you are a Latina.
Yeah. I think it's all that. I mean, the three previous people that were sworn in on specials were three Caucasian men. So I always look at those factors. Unfortunately, it's a reality of our lives, especially as people of color, especially as women. You know, we always have to, the bar is always set higher for us. I think that this has everything to do with protecting those files and that information from getting out, and protecting, billionaires and people that, did horrific crimes against children and women. And those survivors that got through that need to have justice. And the people that are in those files, every single one of them needs to face legal consequences for what they did. And that's what is important about that. So when we say things like you're protecting pedophiles, that's exactly what it feels like. Nobody, I don't care who is implicated. I don't care what party they are. If they hurt a child, they victimized anybody, they deserve to have legal consequences for that. And I am here for it. I am here to sign to make sure that that information gets out and the public knows who it is that they're dealing with. And you really have to wonder who is implicated there, and how influential are they in our government or to our elected official, to like this,
Right.
all of this
We
is going
just
on.
we
I
just
just
want
think
to know,
that
right?
Johnson ended votes early, a week early, to avoid voting on this issue. That's why the discharge petition even came about in the first place.
That is unbelievable. Now, you have
Mhm.
said that this fight is not about me, meaning you, that is about the people. I do believe that the fight is about you, because now you are the face of a constitutional confrontation. So, how do you navigate being a plaintiff in the lawsuit again to be sworn in, and then hopefully pretty soon become a lawmaker?
Yeah, I think the big thing is that some advice my dad gave me really early on is it's not just about fighting. It's, you have to remember who you're fighting for. I think of 812 people in Arizona, the people that I run into every day that said, I voted for you and I want you to represent me. I want to be able to call on you when I need something. I want to be able to tell you that this is what I would do if I were you. I want you to support this legislation. That's the stuff that I need to hear from my constituent about. And I need to be able to build a team around us that is going to be able to represent this very diverse and very large district. And so for me, why I say it's not like an ego thing. It's not, I'm happy to take on the fight because Arizonans deserve full representation, and I'm going to continue to do it. I'm not going to stop. What I think is really funny is Speaker Johnson, you can tell every time someone asks him a question about me, his face is now, his poker face is gone. You can just see how le da tanto coraje that they're asking him about me. But if you would just swear me in, there wouldn't be an issue. And it had nothing to do with the Epstein files, then swear me in. You did it for 2 Republicans. Why can't you do it for me?
He says you are just looking for publicity, along with Attorney General Chris Mapes.
He gave us the platform by not doing his job. The only reason we are in this position, all he has to do is look in the mirror. This is why we're here. Miscalculated this little step. I think he thought that I was just going to sit here and wring my hands and not say anything. Oh, no.
What are you hearing from your constituents directly, especially the Trump supporters that you now represent or will represent?
I'm not hearing really specifically from anybody. I have heard of people, like I went to the No Kings rally, and there was a man there that said, I'm not a Democrat, but what they're doing to you is not okay. And what's happening to our country is not okay. So you have a lot of people that identify more conservative than me. We might not agree politically, but you have to acknowledge the fact that one of the foundations of our democracy is free and fair election. That's one of the foundations. And so with him obstructing me getting sworn in, it sets a very scary precedent that everyone, regardless of party, should be concerned about. And so that's why one of the reasons that as soon as I am able to introduce legislation, so this doesn't happen to anyone again, regardless of party.
Meaning that you want to limit the speaker's power.
I want to compel the speaker to vote at the next swear someone in at the next pro forma session, the next session of legislation. Like there has to be a window, because unless you are in an official recess, you have pro forma sessions all the time. We've had 6 since September 23rd. I could have very easily been sworn in any of those times.
How do you think Democrats can send a message to Latinos that the Democratic Party is still their house, that they can still pay attention to their cause?
I think that what we did as Democrats is move away from where our base is, which is working people, trabajadores in our communities. And I think we didn't focus policy and conversations around them. I think that's why Trump was able to make eggs, the price of eggs, such a big deal, making it seem as if he could snap his fingers and grocery prices would go down. And now people understand 8 months into this that it's every single policy that he is enacting is hurting working people more than anyone. You have people that the prices at the grocery store are higher because of tariffs. You have people that have been furloughed and out of work. You have people that have lost their jobs all over the federal system. And those are services that provided assistance and support to local municipalities. Like those people aren't there anymore. Those departments are decimated. And now you're going to hear from more and more people that they thought, well, I thought he was going to clean things up. I thought he was going to drain the swamp. I didn't know that what that meant was taking money from us and giving it to his already billionaire friend.
What is it going to take for you to be sworn in? What are the alternatives that you're looking for?
So the problem is that Speaker Johnson still needs to authorize somebody else. There's a resolution from Congress to have someone else swear me in. So if he personally doesn't want to do it, it still requires Congress going into session in some form in order to give the authority to somebody else. So I don't care who swears me in at this point. We can do it here at home. I don't care. The issue for me is that it still requires some action from Congress, and who controls what happens in the House is Speaker Johnson. It all comes back to him. When he says things like, well, she should be doing this or she should be doing that, it's like, why don't you do your job? And then I can do mine. But don't try to tell me how to do what I'm supposed to do when you have literally tied my hands behind my back and then sent me in to say, okay, now do it. That's what he's done.
Yeah, no, muchísimas gracias por esta entrevista, for this opportunity. I cannot let you go without asking you about the necklace that you're wearing.
Oh,
it's gorgeous.
Thank you. Yeah, I've had it in my family. It was my tia's. Oh, no, actually, I lied. This one was my brother-in-law's mom. Yeah.
Absolutely stunning.
Muchas
Well, good
gracias.
luck to you. And, hopefully Arizona will have a Latina at the U.S. House of Representatives.